All right, so we'll be starting in a few minutes. Okay, let's get started. If you're here, please kindly react. I am here. I'm present. If you can hear me, say react that you can hear me. All right. Please, we'll be kickstarting in the next 2 minutes. We'll be kickstarting in the next 2 minutes. So let's join. All right, please, if you're here, kindly react. Drop I am here. Let me know how many people are here. If you are here, kindly react. Let's join the workshop. Let's join the workshop. If you're here, kindly react. The training is about to go live. Let's get started. All right. So I need more responses. If you're here, the training has started and we'll be going fully into it. So I need more people to drop feedback. I want us to type I am here. We are live. We're live, we're live, we're live, we're live. Alright? So we are live. Let's drop feedback. If you're here currently, drop a hi so I know many of us are here. Drop a hi. Can we react? Can we react? Can we react? Or drop an emoji if you're here. Let's drop an emoji if you're here. Please drop an emoji. Drop an emoji if you're here. The essence why we are in the group has started. So let's get started. All right. So I don't know if anybody is here, but not getting responses from us. But nevertheless, um, can we hear me? If you can hear me, kindly indicate. All right. So let's get started. Let's get started. Let's get started. Please, I want us to be responsive. The training will be starting now in few minutes. All right. So we're gonna get started in few minutes. So let's let's be on board. So I'm gonna be talking on the concept UI UX. So many of us, I don't know if we are new to this, but this will help us to get what is going on. All right, so I'm gonna be trying to lay a foundation on what UI UX is all about. All right, so UI UX, some people call it product design. So why some places it's also called user research design. Some also call it interaction design. So it has multiple names depending on usage. All right. So depending on usage, it has its own multiple names. All right. So let's get started. Let's get started. Let's join. So basically, when we talk about the concept UI UX, all right. So let's proceed. So UI UX basically, I'm going to talk on the concept. UI is basically called user interface. It's usually called user interface, while UX is usually called user experience. So whenever you hear the concept user interface, you know you're talking about UI, and whenever you're hearing the concept user experience, you know you're talking about UX. All right. So and let me explain a bit history to you. UI UX is also the same as product design. So most of the times there are confusion people make, but I'm going to allow you have a proper foundation here. Please, if you're on this call, kindly drop an emoji in the chat box so that I know you are with me. Kindly drop an emoji in the chat box so I know you are with us on this call. If you're on this call, kindly drop an emoji in the chat box so that I know you are on this call so that we can properly guide you. The training has officially started. So, like I was saying, UI UX, they are both similar. So while UI is user interface, US is user experience. Now, I want you to take note. There are two separate things. UI is user interface, US is user experience. So when you talk of the concept user interface, what do you mean? Like I've said before, user interface has to do with what people see, your design, what they can see with their eyes. So most of the times when you see an amazing design, you are usually wow, this is fine, this is beautiful, and all of that. But then there is an experience. Sometimes we call US user experience because, and then it involves research. So there's a research that bets a design. That research that bets the design is what we call UX. Now, the distinct difference between UI UX and graphic design is graphic design does not need a lot of thought process compared to US to UI UX. UI UX, there's a lot of what we call user experience research that goes on board. Now, why UI is the user interface, what you see, US is the research, the experience that the user will have when they use the product that you are designing. Remember, we need to understand that anything we are creating is for usage in the market. So it's to make it easy for other people to use our products. All right. So like I usually tell my students, or I tell people I train, you are not designing for your comfortability, or you are not designing because you want to design. You are designing because of a particular. You are designing because you want to solve a particular problem. So your design is basically created because you want to solve a particular problem. So in other words, this will make you have a proper concept of what UI UX is. US makes you to go into proper research so that you can have come up with a design that can solve the problem. So I'm gonna be laying a good proper foundation now. So now, what is user experience on its own? So user experience itself has to do with the feeling a user will have using your product. You know, we're calling it product design. So sometimes even your mobile application is a product. UI UX applies to physical products and online products. So every product you see in the market undergoes what we call user experience. Now, if you're taking note of what I've been saying, they have all been user. You know what? These things are user centric. Nothing you are creating, if you want to make money or provide value, nothing you are creating is for you. Everything you're creating is to solve a problem. So it must always be user centric. It should You are not creating a product because you want it. You are creating a product because there is a demand in the market for it. All right. So your creation of a product is because you want to solve a problem. So that's why I usually tell people whatsoever you're creating must be user centric. User centric. All right. So the feeling a user gets while using a product is what we call the user experience. Now, your US is broken into two. Please follow me. Remember, I'm talking about UI US. I'm on the US part. So your US is broken into two. It's broken into the user experience a product have while using your product. And then there's another part called user research. The user research is the one done before your product is created or designed. So in other words, it's two ways. The research done before your product is created, and the second is the experience the user will get while using your product. Please kindly react if you understand what I'm saying. Kindly react. Kindly react if you understand what I'm saying. Kindly react. Guys, kindly react if you understand what I'm saying. All right, so that I know I'm carrying a lot of us together. kindly react. So that is one of the key concepts of so kindly react if you understand the whole concept I'm saying, so that we can have a proper foundation on where we are going. So this will properly guide us on what we are doing. All right. Please react. So I know I'm carrying a lot of people about. All right. So let's proceed then. So I'm gonna just be going into some element of design. So why I was saying before was your user experience encompass both the user, so it encompass both the user interface, no, the user experience and user research. Why then we have the UI? UI basically is not the design proper. So your design proper is what we call the UI, but then the US basically has to do with the user research and user experience. All right. So that would help us maximize what we're going to be doing. All right. So this class is going to be a foundational class. Now, as I was saying before now, right? Um, let's say I want to create a product. So I want to explain something now in user experience. So let's follow. Now I said, let's take an for example an e-commerce website, right? Let's take for example an e-commerce website. So an e-commerce website now, if a buyer finds it to be consistently, like I've always explained and said, if a buyer finds the buying experience to be demanding, to be long, complicated, you failed as a UI UX designer. So you are basically meant to know how to design in the sense that you need to design currently with what is trending. Like I've been able to, this year alone, I've been able to do three designs for a big some big company. Currently, I'm learning how to design with AI because as I'm talking to you, design has been modifying. So I tell people, do not delay a user whenever you're creating a screen, because you must consider, if you notice something very paramount, you must always consider that people are going to use the application you are creating. So you need to make it easy that people can see what you're creating. So people should be able to understand and get a full grasp of what you are doing and see, okay, this you are creating a product, let people be able to use it. Then you need to consider them. So you must make sure whatsoever you're designing is solving user need. Now, if I want to get close, if I want to understand, okay, let's say for example, I want to create a product in the fintech market. Now, I cannot just rush and start creating a product in the fintech market, right? What do I need to do? The first thing I will need to do basically is I will have to, so the first thing I will need to do in the fintech market is I will have to research about the industry. Now, what research will properly guide you in is that it helps you not to create a product existing in that market. So, in other words, because you are not the first person coming up with something. If you want to take a particular industry, some people might have thought about it. So, if you sit down and begin to design, you will design a product that will solve no value. So, when you properly research, it helps guide you to create a product that is needed. Now, there are three things why research is very important, because In other words, let's say, because I've seen some businesses, I've spoken with some clients where they want to use a high amount of money, while some are okay, and I have 40 million, I want to push a product. Now they want to start designing. I tell them to pause. Please, let's properly research so you don't waste huge funds or huge capital and put it in an industry where you will not see any form of profitability. Now, that's why most science foundation is key. So, in other words, if you want to have a proper foundation on what UI UX is all about, right, you need to properly research about any industry you are building a product for. So, and research is in multiple ways. There's what we call design process, but we'll not be talking more about that because you need to properly research to get the required result. Except you do not want to have results in what you're doing, you would need proper research, right? So this will help us have a proper understanding of what we are saying. All right. So we are going to also now be moving into because I want us to understand the foundation. Once you've properly researched, then you can design. All right. So I'm just going to be coming into the Figma tool. So one of the two we use basically for our design is what we call Figma. So Figma is and because Figma is one of the best tool. Although we have Adobe XD, we have Miro and the likes, but in terms of usage, I've used almost all of them. Even the Switch and all of that, Figma is one of the best. So you use Miro. Some people have trained. Miro is we can use Miro to also design, but basically Miro is one of the best tool for user experience. That is for your US. Remember I told you you're talking about US and UI. So you use Miro for your US, then you can use Figma for your UI. All right. So I don't know if you're here and you can hear me very well. Kindly react, drop an emoji so that I know that you guys are here. Drop an emoji so that I know that you guys are here. I want to know I'm carrying a lot of people along. Drop an emoji so that I know you guys are here. All right. So let's kindly react. Let's kindly react. Let's kindly react. So because we'll be going into Figma, but I want to make sure I'm giving a proper understanding of what we've talked about. Remember, I've spoken to you. UI has to do with user interface. US has to do with user experience. I know there's a lot of people just coming in, but then the foundation is very key to what we'll be building. Because currently, there's also another cheat code that I'll be touching, designing with AI. So, because currently, as a product designer, if you do not understand how to design with AI, you will be at a loss disadvantage. There are a lot of things you would maximally not get, or there are a lot of results you will not get. So, I would always because now, even in as much that we have product design, we also have advanced product design. There are a lot of cheat code to how you can properly design. All right. So I would advise us to take advantage of these workshops that will be coming on board. All right. So because to be a proper UI, this is my 50 in the field. So and most times whenever some people come and they're like, sir, I will tell you all you need is consistency. Sometimes I tell people and then if you're a designer, all you know how to do is to just design without properly doing a proper research, you will not survive in the market. Take it to the bank, is what I'm telling you. Because imagine a client is coming telling you he has 40 million and he wants to create a product, and you cannot properly guide him, and then you start designing, he will have waste of money because nobody wants to waste money. So in other words, you must have properly have good experience in US. US is the foundation on which UI build. Like I told you before, if you want to create a product in the fintech industry or in the healthcare or a content product, all you need to do, you must properly research about the industry. Now, find out the challenges the industry is facing. Because when you can find out the challenges the industry is facing, it helps properly guide you on how to create a good product for that industry, right? So it helps you that okay, this product is needed, then you can create it because any design you are creating that is not solving a problem is a waste of design. Take it because many of us know that currently that any product you are seeing, any mobile application, mobile website are currently providing any sort of value. That's why you're using it. If you're not getting value from any of these products, you will not use them. So I would always advise us to maximally do proper research. In fact, the success of every product is tied to the research done. Please hear me again. The success of every product is tied to the research done for that product. Right? So if there's no proper research, there's no proper product. Right? So I'm just gonna be trying to create how some of our mobile application come into play. All right. So we have a frame. Basically, some of our design. This is a frame. So you first of all create a frame. Click here. We also have other tools like Miro, Adobe XD we use, but I kind of run with Figma. So I'm going to use the custom pattern, right? So, and in UI, remember I told you, when you have been able to maximize, um, when you have been able to get the concept, or when you have been able to understand what what product you want to create, it now helps you to create them easily. All right. So there's a part in the US where we'll talk about, um, if you've been following me very well, there's a part in US where we'll talk about the user flow. Now, the user flow is something that has to do with the direction your mobile application will take. Every mobile application has a direction. Like, if you notice for mobile apps, the first thing you see whenever you're opening a mobile application is the onboarding screen. After you see the onboarding is that screen, you see the splash screen, then you will now see a screen that tells you welcome to so 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 so. So when it says welcome, it's trying to welcome you on board. That is what it's trying to tell you. Welcome to so 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 so. Right? So let's now try to create a small splash screen. So in your design, there's what we call um like I said, I've trained over 300 designers. So like have said, if you are designing for a mobile application, the first screen you see is the splash screen. So the splash screen is that screen that welcomes you on board on the application. Then you see onboarding, then you see some other screens. But then if it's a website, what is the first screen you see on the website? The first screen you see on the website is what we call the landing page. So if you do not understand this concept, you will be designing in error. All right. So, and this will help us to properly know what we are doing. Because it's one thing to design, it's another thing to properly design and avoid errors. All right. So if you're following me, please react in the channel, drop an emoji. React in the channel, drop an emoji if you have been following me all along. Also, be going into some element of practicals now. If you've been following me, react in the channel, react in the channel. I want to know that a lot of us are here. So if you are here, kindly react so I understand that I'm carrying a lot of us. Okay. All right. So Temidayo said is here, which is perfect. Okay. So let's keep going. So I'm going to try to create a small splash screen. Now, it's one thing for you to properly know how to design. It's another thing for you to understand the concept. Design is divided into three. Most of the times, most UI UX designer is saying, currently I know how to design with AI. So I've gone into an advanced form of design. All right. So there's what we call normal design. So most trainings they train you to be a normal designer. That one is normal design. So there's what we also call interaction design. Now there's interaction design, another advanced level where we deal with components. Everything is done on Figma. There's also what we call responsive design. All right. So that one's another part of design where we talk on auto layout and the rest. There's also what we call on a effective design. And then now we've now come to artificial intelligence design, which is designing with AI. So you see there's it's a whole lot of concept. So as a designer, you need to evolve. So I'm just going to try to create a splash screen and give it some element of interaction. So and these are tools here. So as I've seen, this is a frame. Use this, you can see it's showing frame. So this is what we call topic shape, right? So this is a pen tool. So the pen tool basically is used whenever you want to create something that is not existing on your frame board. All right. So this is our text tool. If you want to type, then comment and all of that. So I would want to do something small. It's called, I'm going to do a splash screen and then I will do a toggle button. But let me start with the concept of the toggle button. So just see small element of interaction for a toggle button, right? So I want to create a toggle button is that button that you see because for everything you see on your mobile application, it was a product designer that created it. So I want you to understand everything. You see, whenever you open an app, the way you're opening YouTube, it was a product designer that created YouTube in this format. So a product designer think every action you will take on a mobile application. All right. So there's what we call toggle button. Toggle button is that button we use to switch from light mode to dark mode. All right. So I want to show you how it is created so that we can now see. So there's how it is created. So this is a frame. So please follow me. So there's what we call toggle button. So while we have a frame, remember I told you you can come here to pick a shape. So I'm going to press here. So eclipse is like a circle. I need a circle. All right. So a circle is here. So I'm going to come to this frame. I want it to bend in the form of the circle. So I'm going to come here. There's what we call corner radius. So corner radius is what we use to bend a frame or a shape. So come here and see it here at this angle. So I'm going to make it, let me give it 30. Let me bend the edges. All right, you can see the edges is bent and the circle is no longer as visible as before. So let me give it so that I can hide the white. So let me give it 35. All right, so we're creating the toggle button. So I'm going to name this toggle on. So whenever you click on this, you have a toggle on. So what I'm trying to show you now is not a plain design. I want to create what we call an interaction design. Remember I told you every even your because if I'm to take you into proper training, at the end of my training, you must I'll be able to create a mobile application or a website that is very interactive. People can operate it even without a coder touching it. So basically, how I train is at the ending, you'll be able to create a product that will be very interactive. That you can even give people will be playing with it. It will be very, very interactive, very, very interactive, and you can also people can operate with it. You can play around with it. So, but what I want to show you is just small element of interaction design. So I'm going to name this toggle on, like the toggle button, toggle on. Right. So remember I told you this is the test tool. So let me go and write on here. People that might just be coming. So I'm going to write on so that you understand because I want it to do toggle on and toggle off. Right. So this is nice. So I want to increase the measurement. I want it to make it bigger. Remember it's a text, so I'll come to typography. So let me increase this to like 40. Right, it's a bit big, but let me see. Okay, so let me reduce it to like 35. All right, so you have something like this. So this is the toggle on. So I want to change this color, give it something fancy. All right, please, if you are not understanding, I can pause a bit to get you. So this is where you come to change color, the fill. Please, if you're following, tell me, react in the chat box you're following. All right. So I want to make sure I'm carrying us along. So currently I'm trying to explain. Remember I told you your design is divided into four: interaction, plain design, responsiveness, effective design, and then we also have the last one, which is designing with AI. So currently Like I've told us before, as a designer, you do not stay one way. You must always strive to increase in terms of your knowledge in your field, right? So please, can I proceed? React in the chat box. I want to make sure I'm carrying everybody along. Can I proceed? Can I proceed? React. Are we following? Are we following? Oh, all right. So this is the toggle on. Now, if you know, if you notice in your we're talking about interaction. So in your normal way, if you want to duplicate something, what is it called? You press Ctrl D. All right. So there's what we call Ctrl D. So I want to duplicate it. So I'm going to press Ctrl D. You can see it has duplicated it. So I'm going to change this to toggle off so that it will switch to the off button. So while this is off, I'm going to switch this to from on to off. So while this is switched from off, I will have to change the color because we're talking now about off. So let me give off blue sign. So let me change this to something better. Remember, few is what I'm using. Few is for colors, right? This one is already off. So let me find something it can run with. All right, so let it run with this, right? So let me make this white. So the toggle off, the toggle on. All right, so we have this. So we have the two buttons. Remember, if you're using an iPhone, you want to switch from light mode to dark mode. So that's what I'm trying to do. Toggle on, toggle off. So let's switch this. So I want this 0 to come here. Why this off go here? What will I do? I click on this 0 here. So you click on the 0, right? So I click on the 0, then I come here, alignment. There's a place here under alignment where I will just press, I will align it to the right. It moves to that portion. Then I'll come to the off here. Then I will align it to the left. Then it comes here. So I will just adjust it so that it comes inside a bit, right? So we have something like this for what we are doing. So this will help us for it. So we have something like this and something like this. So once you're done, right? So we're talking about interaction design. So in interaction, you use what we call component. We'll talk about that along the line as we proceed in the course, people that will be proceeding. So there's what we call interaction design, right? So what you will do is then once I'm done here, I will just highlight the two of them. All right. So once you highlight the two of them, you will come to under this frame. You will see something here. It's called create component, but don't touch it. Come to this place that there's a drop down, right? And click on create component set. Create component set. So once you click on it, it will create it. It will join them together. The essence of creating component set is to join them together because we don't want them to function as one element. We want them to function together. All right. Please, are you following me? Kindly react if you are still here. If you are following me, kindly react. If you're still here and following, if you're still here and you're following me, kindly react in the chat box so I know you're following me. If you're still here, say I'm following, so that I know many of us are still here. All right. So okay, I'm still going to be proceeding. So remember, I told you we came to this place and we created component set. So component set will unite the two of them together. So once it unites the two of them together, what will you do next? Then you switch it from this place that is on design to what we call prototype. Currently, what I'm trying to explain interaction design. So what does prototype does? Prototype is a concept where your design we want to make it interactive. Interactive. All right. So you come here, then you find a circle. Then a sign will come here to link them. So you click on it and you link it to this frame. So once you link it, to ask you what do you want. So I want it to be on click. This the only thing you're changing here, come to this place that on the animation, change the animation to smart animate. All right. When you change it to smart animate, change here from ease out to gentle, then make it 800. So by just changing smart animate gentle 800, you can take note of that. Smart animate gentle 800. Then you'll come to this off button as well. We are prototyping the circle to the other frame. So we're also going to take this one and put it here. So it's going to be also be on click, smart animate gentle 800. All right. Please, if you're still here, are you hearing me? I want to make sure I'm carrying a lot of us here. So if you're still here, are you hearing me? So this will help us get a proper understanding of what is happening. So that we can have a proper understanding of what is happening. Please, if you're still here, kindly react. Kindly react. I need to see reaction so that I know I'm carrying us along. Kindly react, kindly react, kindly react. All right. So if you're still here, react, react, react. I know some of us have passion in UI UX, so that's why I'm trying to do this. All right. So once you're done, you prototype it together like this. It will now help you with what we are doing. All right. So once I'm done like this, we've done something like this. Please take note of the interaction. You can now cancel. And you will now come to your asset. Click here, then import this instance. It's called an instance. Import it, let it come out. So this is it. It's out. So once it's out, create a frame. Create a frame where you can put the instance. So once we've created a frame where you can put the instance, you have something like this. Then you can now run it. So there's what we call preview. I want you to be able to see the interaction so that you can see how it will behave. So when you see it, then you can now understand. I want you to see the interaction because we call it interaction design. So you'll be able to see it interact. All right. Okay. So you'll be able to see it interact. So this training also will still go on again so that we can have a lot of people benefit. All right. So let me now click on the small circle so that we can see it. So you click here now. We want to show it interacting. All right. So please follow. Please follow. That way we can have a proper thing on. You can see it has interacted. Can you see the toggle button has turned? You can see the switch is interacting. This has switch again. It's interacting. So this is some element of interaction design. As you can see, is interacting and is interacting. So this is how you get to see what we call interaction design. All right. So I just wanted to lay a foundation today. Another class will be coming up by next week, of which I would want us to have opened a group so we can drop a good time. We want the class and the time so that we can have more people on board. So this is the first class. So we've been able to show you some element of interaction on the UI UX. So we've talked on UI, what it's all about. We've also talked on US now. So we've come on Figma. So I'll be able to do one or two so that we can have proper knowledge and proper understanding on what we are doing and what we are building. All right. So if you have benefited or gained something, React and the chatbots, another workshop will be coming up next week where we'll select a time so that we can now have more people on board and have a more productive section. All right. So I don't know if we've benefited, we've learned something, and we've gained something. So we'll be going. There's still a lot for us to do, but this is the first workshop where we can get more people first, and then we'll build after. All right. So if you're new to my channel, I will recommend you kindly subscribe, like, and share so that you don't miss on more workshop that will be coming up. So we'll have another workshop coming up next week where we'll now be going full in depth on the UI UX roadmap, and then I will be able to guide us on how to become a successful UI UX designer along the line. All right. So thank you for being here. We'll continue next week. Do have a lovely day.